In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to get your HTML microdata easily generated for you by Google so you don't have to write it by hand.
This video is brought to you by EpiPies Academy.
And once it's generated for you, you can basically copy and paste that HTML into your website. So you don't have to be very technical for this because the microdata code can get a little bit complicated. So in this video, we're going to avoid all that and have the easy way. So first step is you go to google.com/webmasters right here. If you don't already have an account with it, just click sign in, and because you might have you most likely already have some sort of a Gmail account or something associated with Google, you already have an account here by default because Google has a single sign-on for all of their services. So you click sign in and you sign in. In my case, I'm already signed in, so I'm just going to show you what's going to happen once you land on your site. Also, in my case, my website is already verified. If your website, if this is your first time, you have to go through a couple of steps to verify that in fact the website you want to edit and monitor is in fact yours. It's very simple, and then you'll be ready to do what I'm going to show you to do. When you are on your site, and this happens after you verified your website and everything, you're going to have this dashboard, and what you want to click is Web Tools, and what you want to click is Testing Tools, and then what you want to click is Structured Data Markup Helper. And you're going to give this page a URL, or simply cut and paste the HTML that you already have, and it's going to just give you other HTML, the edited HTML. In our case, it's simpler, almost more clean to just add a URL. Now keep in mind, they give you a few types of businesses that you have. This is very common. If you're e-commerce business, your products. If you're specific like books, specific e-commerce, okay, your book, that's for you. If movies, if you're a local business, which is a tremendous number of businesses, that's for you. If it's a simple article, that's even for you. There's more types of things that you can mark up, but this does give a good range of things, and this is a good practice as well because once you understand how to do this, you can do this on your own anyway, using standard documentation and writing it by hand, but they do provide a lot of help. So in our case, we're going to do books, and I'm going to enter the URL of a book that I have, and this URL is, you see, it's on my website. So it's not a book on Amazon, it's a book on my website. And I'm going to I'm going to choose the book reviews, and I'm going to start tagging, because what I want to accomplish is I want Google to show the star rating of my book in the search results so that my result stands out among the other top 10. After it loads, it's going to give you this kind of interface. It's going to show you your page, and it's going to show you all these values. Here's what happens. Now, how do you fill this out? You have to highlight. Let's say I'm the author. Okay, that's my name. I'm the author. I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to say this is the author. Look what happens. On the right side, see, it fills it in. Now I'm going to create a couple of other things. Let's say English is my language. The 4.5 is my aggregate rating, and then you go to rating value, and then the 140 is my total count of the ratings. Then I've got my date published, and then you got date right here. Then there's other things like my ISBN. I'm going to enter that here, and all this data. Publisher, I'm going to enter that here. And essentially, I'm not going to fill all of this out because it would be pretty boring for you. But essentially, what the point is that you want to have all this information on your website already, so that when you're ready to tag it, it's so easy. You see, it fills it out. And I'm going to, and in the very next step, it spits out the HTML, so you don't have to write the HTML. And I'm just going to enter a couple of more things. For example, I'm going to highlight this, and I'm going to say, oh, this is my book title. Okay, you see on the right side right here, it's going to fill out my book title. And of course, I want the image. And you see that the image, the URL it took, I'll show you in the next step that it's a wrong URL, but you can fix that. So let's say this is pretty good and we have the rating value because this is what we really want to show. So what you also can do is just name your prices. In my case, I don't have it here, but you can also list your prices. And now let's say we are done. Just for the example's sake, I kind of want to go fast on this. So you create the HTML, and what happens is it gives you a few formats for the markup. What we want is the microdata. So I'm going to pull down, and I'm going to select microdata, and it gives me my entire page. And so you can just literally, I know that at the bottom of my page, I have all these little data points, and it's right here. Remember this, the author, the publisher, the rating value, except now it's all this whole P tag from the close to the end of it. You see, this is the P tag, and that's the close, and it's essentially a paragraph tag. And I can just take all of this and copy it and paste it back to my page. And so that way, I don't have to write any of the HTML. And the same thing for on the top of my page, I had the title tag, and I can take the HTML for that now and copy it over. And then I had a couple of things that I marked in the image of my book. So it's very, very simple. And let's see the title. You see, this is the title. I used to just have a bare title, but now I just said item prop, you see, name. And so you just take basically just that line, you just added one parameter and you use that. And then what I also wanted to show you is, this is something that I am attempting to write by hand at the moment. You see it's commented out. So don't look at this microdata code because it's commented out, and you can see that it's commented out because it's inside these comment tags. But also it added something in the image tag, and it's really important to make sure that it labeled the image correctly. And it's right here, item prop image, and it did get the URL. I was worried that it wouldn't get the URL right, but it did get the URL of the book, so it's going to be able to take the URL. So essentially, you see how this gets you the HTML ready-made for you. You just have to click. There's no coding on your part, and it's very simple. And now you have your page marked up within a minute or two, essentially. So that's it. And try to do that for your products. If your products aren't books, try it for your product. Or if you just have a business, just try it for your business.